Lakes are like humans. They are born, they grow up, and eventually grow old. In the ancient world, Armenia was called Nairi, which means a land of rivers and lakes. Lakes, like people, have different origins and destinies. Their birth is an astonishing process and can be of volcanic, tectonic, landslide, glacial, and karst origin. Volcanic lakes, for instance, originate either in the very craters of mountains, such as the little lakes living in the craters of Azdahak, Armenian, and Ishkhanasa, that are like the eyes of the mountains of Armenia, or when there is a lava flow that bends and eventually alters the stream of a river, creating barrier dams. The river then seemingly stops and gives birth to a lake. About 800,000 years ago, following the eruption of Aragats, a large lake was formed in the Aparan Depression, in this fashion that disappeared 10,000 years ago, leaving behind only the swampy basins adjacent to the Kazakh River. Tectonic lakes, on the other hand, are formed due to the strong tremors in the Earth's crust. For example, about 1.6 million years ago, a large lake appeared in the Vorotan Depression, which has lived up to the present geological age that started about 10,000 years ago. When water penetrates the Earth's crust through cracks, it dissolves the limestone and gives birth to underground karst lakes. On the Earth's surface, karst lakes usually appear in funnel-shaped depressions. A vivid example of a karst lake is the dry lake near the village of Hovk, which has now become a karst funnel. Landslide lakes are formed due to sediment transport or landslides. Examples are Kalavan and Pars Lake. And finally, glacial lakes. These are formed in the bedrock due to the motion of glaciers. Lakes are also like humans in that they too have different characters and temperaments. The basins of saline lakes are fed by the rivers, flowing into them carrying large amounts of salt and lime into the basin. However, the lakes that have rivers flowing out of them soon become freshwater as the salt is removed from the basin through the river flow. Two of the three largest lakes in the Armenian highlands, Van and Kaputan, or Umia, are salty, whereas Lake Savan is freshwater, thanks to the flow of the river Hrazdan. Hence, it's extremely important that we treat Hrazdan with care. Lakes are like humans. They leave their mark in history. Lake sediments hide wonderful secrets about events that took place millions of years ago. Lakes formed in cold and harsh climates leave behind clastic sediments, and lakes formed in hot climates leave algae remains and the fossils of plants and animals. The remains of vegetation preserved in the lake sediments of the Vorotan Depression show that the average summer temperatures here were very high, and the amount of precipitation was almost 3 times higher than what we have today. Apples, pears, plums, rosehip, and parsnips, as well as other fruits and vegetables, used to grow here. Fossils of mammoths and woolly mammoths have been discovered in the ancient lake sediments of Ararat, Shirak, and Lori depressions. Lakes are like humans. They are gossiped about, and legends and folk tales are told about them. One such jaw-dropping legend is a story about a dragon that lived in Lake Van, who was fought against by the angels. When the dragon turned 1,000 years old, the angels pulled it out of the water and dragged it to the sun for it to burn. The ashes of the blazing dragon fell down smouldering like a thick mist. Our ancestors used to think that the dragon came and blocked the source of the river, demanding a beautiful girl as payoff. Is not this reminiscent of the birth of a lake of volcanic origin, where the dragon's claw is like the lava flow blocking the river, and the dragon is the wild animal erupting in a fiery flame inside the mountain crater? The legends of Akhtama and Pavana that tell of tender human feelings are also associated with lakes. We encourage you to study these accounts yourself.